Good evening, friends. Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live on our Patreon channel. And listen, had a wonderful time with Steve Jackson on our broadcast the other day, Saturday, actually, yesterday that we did with him. We recorded actually on Friday, and I wanted to share something. Good evening, friends. Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live on our Patreon channel, and I wanted to share some information with you. I kind of got inspired with Stephen Jackson. We had him on here with JWTV. I want to really thank you guys for going and subscribing to him. He noticed the subscriptions. I think he jumped about 3,000 subscribers. In fact, let me just something I need to remind you guys as well, especially here on Israeli News Live. And I'll just real quick, let's just open up the YouTube channel again, Israeli News Live. They're pretty much blocking our subscribers, and I think they even remove you guys from there. We've been stuck at 395,000 subscribers now for months, and then suddenly it'll just take off. Double check, make sure you're subscribed, and then resubscribe. Hit the notification bell. I know they're bad about not sending you guys notifications, things like that, but please do, because it's the only way we're going to overcome YouTube's craziness that they do to us. And by the way, just in case you guys, many of you probably don't even know, because you can always get new people there. That picture there that's on our banner there, that was the 2004, the suicide bomber that God directed me out of the path of. That was an amazing event that happened. Very sorry for the woman that blew herself up. Sorry for those policemen that were killed in that blast there. But I literally was going down the sidewalk, and she was coming down the sidewalk as well when the Lord directed me out of that path there. So amazing thing. I'll have to retell that story again just for a reminder for some people there. Anyway, listen, I want to get into some things here with you, though. I got Mr. MBB333. I've got a clip here of his up here. And the reason I do is because when I was on with Stephen Jackson, he had a clip on his channel where he shows this guy using a telescope finding this object near the sun. And so I wanted to check to see with people that I know, scientists there in the Pentagon, about that. And I'm going to first play, before I talk about it, I want to play Mr. MBB3, where he talks about an object back in May 12th, 2021, that was near the sun as well. And in all fairness, this is something, too, that, what is that, was it Planet X? Steve, another Steve as well. I'm blank on the name right now, but anyway, he's been doing this for a long time. But let's look at what Mr. MBB333 says on this real quick. Listen in.
By Tony B. It occurred yesterday. It was noticed on the Solar Dynamics Observatory, and it's a spacecraft that monitors the sun. And you can see what almost looks like a transit of Venus. That is a perfect sphere in the northeastern quadrant of the sun. Now, more than likely, it could be some sort of a coronal hole. It is perfectly round. I mean, look at that. Yes, the lighting's been altered just a little bit, but not that much. I mean, there's clearly a void there that is a perfect circle. It's undeniable. It looks like a moon or a planet up there. And this, again, is the northeastern section of the sun. This is looking straight at the sun from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. It's a spacecraft that's been monitoring the sun since 2009. You're looking at that sphere in different formats. Some formats reveal it much better than others, like this one right here. Clearly it looks like a planet tucked away in the corona of the sun.
Now, let me just see. Gosh, because I hate to get a blank and then forget. Let me just put in... I think it's Planet X News is who brings out that information quite a bit. And yeah, here we go, right here. That's with, let's see here. Anyway, and I may have that wrong as well. But anyway, Steve over there on that channel there, and like I said, I may have the channel wrong here, brings out a lot about that exact same thing that Mr. MBB3 brings out, because it's been going on for quite some time, right? This object that appears there in the sun, and when I was talking to a scientist there at the Pentagon before going on with Stephen Jackson on JWTV there, he said the last time that he spoke to the guys that deal with the sun, he said they were speaking in riddles. He said you have to kind of decipher the riddle about what's really going on. And the one thing that I came away with, though, and we shared this, but I'm going to talk to you about some other things as well tonight, is that the scientists, their probability is that there is going to be a mass ejection of some large, as it was put to me, asteroid type of object from the sun. That they're anticipating that it will eject it from the sun right around 2030. Now, I remember when I had on Steve there from, not Steve Jackson, but from Planet X News. He believes that's Planet X has been orbiting, got trapped into an orbit around the sun. And I asked him, do you think that the thing could possibly actually be thrown back out into space eventually? Now, from what I gather, this is not Planet X, but it is believed to be, and this is from a physicist that I know at the Pentagon, that actually said to me that they are anticipating this thing to be ejected from the sun. Not a solar flare, nothing like that. So I'm thinking this is the object, the very thing that has been followed by so many. And let's put that in there. Planet X Sun News, because I know that's what's. Let's see. I just want to get this just right, because this is like driving me nuts to even think about this. I'm trying to be careful there, because I know that there's more than one Planet X News channel, and I want you guys to get the right guy there. And I apologize, brother, for. Let me just see here, because I know his wife.
If I'm some random person, and I
input and output into the phone, you don't know if what I say.
I don't think that's. No, oh gosh, I got into another channel. I apologize. I did that already. And he's always showing these amazing things on here. And we've actually been together in an interview, I think, once before, but I know his wife got really sick there. Very, very sad thing there that was going on there. And I'm just trying to see. Here we go, right here. Here's some of his stuff here. See where he's showing that? There it is, right there. Showing. Now he actually shows all the different objects. See. Like it's a whole system in there, not just that on there. And I need that brother's name. And I know you guys are going to probably at least put it in there for me. I think that's his wife's name right there. Highly trained and educated physicist with 17 years of teaching and lecturing university in South Africa. I'm also a Planet X investigator, and my main goal. Oh gosh. So anyway. Gosh, guys, listen. So we'll just have to come back to that part later. I appreciate his work, and like I said, I think this is what MBB3 is kind of expounding on, very similar, that type of information there. But as I said, though, our scientists in the government believe this thing is going to be ejected by 2030. Now, keeping in mind, these are the same scientists too that have believed that the San Andreas Fault would actually give way. They thought it happened by 2010, and it did not happen. So they're not always 100% accurate, but yet there's some of the most brilliant minds there are in our government that looks at these things that are going on. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you. And then this one here too came up. And I ran across this while I was doing some research anyway, so I wanted to share this with you too, because I actually know the answer to this. So let me play this from the Science Channel. Let me play this. Dr. Bill Burns, author of Space Wars, what he says here about aliens refueling at the sun. Listen in.
Spaceships be refueling by getting as close as possible to stars and sapping up that energy, and that's what's fueling them through space. That image certainly raises that possibility.
The sun puts out more power in a second than humanity has used in all of history.
But the 3 million degree temperatures in the sun's atmosphere would destroy any human technology.
We can't use the sun for a spacecraft, but that doesn't mean some very advanced alien race can't.
All right, so do you want to know the mystery to the answer to that question? The answer is yes. The aliens are using the sun as a fueling station. We know it. I have spoke to the scientists that literally they watch them in their not just their telescopes, but also with our own spaceships that we have. Yes, we have not been able to reverse engineer that technology because they're using materials that are not manufactured on this earth, or that we don't have that availability on this earth though. And they are able to go down. Not only that, but the beings that are inside the spacecraft can endure that type of heat. We also know that there are creatures within our own core of our earth that live in the inner earth that also have the ability to endure volcanic type of heat and come through vents of the volcanic places as well here on the earth. So yes, that is true. They are using the sun as a fueling station. There's also a giant spaceship that orbits the sun, and it is a giant spaceship. So if you had the ability to really look at it, you'd be able to see this spaceship orbits the sun. I forget however many days it actually comes around. So yeah, that was kind of something I thought was kind of interesting. And another thing that I wanted to share with you guys here, we were talking about the situation in Ukraine, and Russia, Israel, technology, those things there. And let me just one thing I want to put in there. Let's see, Israeli prime ministers list. I want to show you something about this. This is the prime ministers. Maybe on Wikipedia is the best. Here we go. That'd be the best place. All right, I want to show you something here. Ben-Gurion. All right. Let's see. David Ben-Gurion, first prime minister. Moshe Sharit. David Ben-Gurion again. I want to see. I don't know if they show that on here or not, but we're gonna try to get this going on. Let me just click on one at a time. Ben-Gurion, born 1886, State of Israel, Prime Minister. Let's see. I'm just trying to get where they're actually born at and stuff, because that's what I wanted to share with you guys. He's the first Prime Minister of Israel. Let's see here. I want his place of birth because I know it's Ukraine. That's why I want to show you some of this stuff right here. Let's see. Moshe Sharit. He was preceded by Moshe Sharit. Gosh, come on, Steve. Help me find. Childhood, Ben-Gurion. Okay. He was born in Congress, Poland. I apologize. Actually, I was thinking he was Ukraine. But let me just... I often say everyone were from Ukraine, but as for the most part, yes, not all though. But let's just find out. Maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe they're all from Poland and I get it backwards. Let's just see here. Russia, born in Kherson in the Russian Empire, today in Ukraine. So Moshe Sharit is from Ukraine. He's the second Prime Minister of Israel. Let's see, Levi Eshkol. Let's see where he was from. Early years, was born in Shtelt Ortav, which is Kiev Governorate, Russian Empire, Vinnytsia Oblast, Ukraine. All right, so third Prime Minister of Israel was Ukrainian. Now we're going to go to Alan. Alan also, where was Alan from? Alan is from Belarus. excuse me. I'm sorry. His elder brother was from Belarus, then part of the Russian Empire. His father Reuven immigrated to Palestine. He was born in Kaftar Tavor. His father Reuven immigrated to Palestine in 1890, along with his father and older brother Belarus, then in the Russian Empire. His mother, let's see, Rosh Pina. I think for EGAL learning. Okay, that's the early years. I'm trying to see though. Hang on, that's still okay. Kaftar Tavor is where he was born at. Occupied enemy administration. Still quite haven't got that one figured out there. All right, so his family was from Belarus, basically. I didn't quite figure. I think Golda Meir is Ukrainian as well, if I'm not mistaken about Golda Meir. She was born Jewish in downtown Russian Empire, present day Ukraine. Okay, Golda Meir, present day Ukraine. So far, only two not, and the rest so far from Ukraine, right? Or even the former Russian Empire, right? Rabin, Yitzhak Rabin. Where is Yitzhak Rabin from? Let's look at that as well. Yitzhak Rabin was born at the medical center in Jerusalem, but wait a minute, what about his parents? So, hang on, let me go to his parents. Maybe his parents are the ones that are from Ukraine. From Tel Aviv, where the family relocated when it was a year old. Family, okay, Rabin. Gosh. You have to trace these all back. This is the reason why I'm showing this to you guys is because of the fact that you'll see why there is such a great interest in Ukraine. I can't find. I've done the research on this once before, and I believe it's Yitzhak Rabin's family was from Ukraine as well. Let's go to Begin, Menachem Begin. All right, Menachem Begin. Come on, Menachem. Where are you from? I forget about you as well. He was born in Zevdov. Begin. Okay, Belarus. So Belarus and Ukraine. All right, let's see. I do stand corrected on always saying they were all from Ukraine except the last two. But you're going to be blown away, though, to just see how many, though, are from Ukraine. All right. He was born in the Jewish village of Ruzani, the Russian Empire, now Belarus, Grodov province. So he's from Belarus. Wow. I was surprised at how many are from Belarus. Maybe that's why they want to take down Belarus right now. Let's see. Yitzhak Shamir. Did we do Yitzhak Shamir? We did Begin. Wait, maybe. Yeah, we just did Shamir. Shimon Peres. Now, Shimon Peres, biggest criminal of Israel ever is Shimon Peres. He's from Poland. Now it's Belarus. The part where he lived at is now Belarus, but it was Poland back when he was there. That was very common for changing hands in that area there. We've already done Yitzhak Rabin. Let's see. We have Benjamin Netanyahu. I think his family was from Poland as well. So let's see. He was born in Tel Aviv, but it was Petah Tikva, Ottoman Empire. Jerusalem's father was Warsaw born. Benzion Netanyahu, Jewish Gold Age of Spain. Netanyahu's grandfather. Don't see it in there. He reverend him to have some Sephardic ancestry. That's kind of like with me, Sephardic father's side and Ashkenazi on my mother's side. All right, don't see anything there. And then let's see, what do we have? Ariel Sharon. I'm not sure where Ariel was from either. I don't remember. He was born in, let's see, his parents, Republic of Georgia. Oh, wow, I didn't know that about that. Okay. So it's not as I was thinking that they were, almost all of them were from Ukraine, but it's mainly Belarus and Ukraine. And I've never looked up Naftali Bennett. Let's just see where Bennett is actually from. I know he's born in Israel, yeah, Haifa. Okay, Poland is where his ancestral homeland comes from. And Yair Lapid, he is now the current Prime Minister of Israel. And he was born in Tel Aviv, another Israeli-born. And let's see about his parents. Romania. Okay, so, all right, so we're starting to get some different ones in there. But the thing is, you get a lot of these guys there. All right, what I wanted to share with you, though, is not only the issue that we have so many of these prime ministers that are from Ukraine and also Belarus, but it's one of the reasons why there is such a fight for that area. But then I was in some special meetings regarding the situation going on over there with Ukraine and Israel, talking about helping, or the Ukrainians requesting help from Israel in light of the fact that Russia was bringing in drones out of this. So Iranian drones complicate Israel's balancing act. So we have this article right here, for example, and this is on Yahoo News there. It says here that the Iranian-made drones that Russia sent slamming into central Kiev this week have complicated Israel's balancing act between Russia and the West. Israel has stayed largely on the sidelines, which is totally false, since Russia's invasion of Ukraine last February, so not as to damage its strategic relationships with the Kremlin. Although Israel has sent humanitarian aid to Ukraine, it has refused Kiev's frequent requests to send air defense systems and other military equipment, and refrained from enforcing strict economic sanctions on Russia and the many Russian Jewish oligarchs who have second home in Israel. Not only that, but you've got a huge part of the population of Israel today, about 2 million, are Russian Jews. So, well, they say Russian Jews. They're not even Jews in most cases are. They just, this in order to build the nation, they made them Jews so they could come in to help build the nation, because the Russians had some of the greatest minds and brains there were in the world. Not to mention you have many Ukrainians as well that came into Israel that made the state. But I was talking to someone very high up at the White House there about this situation between Russia and Israel. And I was told, don't be fooled for a moment, because Russia and Israel cooperate on military technology at a level unprecedented in the world. And so with that, let's pull that up, because I actually had some articles up on that. And when I was putting this together the other day, and I just forgot to get this video up for you guys. Russia wants Israel to beef up its military technology. This was one of them right there. And just to show you some of this is just what's known in the news. Moscow and Jerusalem have substantially stepped up their military cooperation in recent years. Nevertheless, Moscow and Jerusalem have substantially stepped up their military cooperation in recent years, in a trend that has made the United States somewhat nervous about the technology exports to Israel. Israeli drones have flown in Russian service in the war in Ukraine, and Israeli electronics have helped improve Russian systems in other ways. Here are 5 Israeli defense capabilities that Russia would like to have. All right, I'm not going to go into all those, but this is just to show you some of that technology, or some of that cooperation, as I was saying to you guys already. Russia and Israel signed an agreement on military cooperation. I think that was in 2006, I believe that was. Let's see. Yeah. No, 2010. September 6, 2010. Says here the details of the deal linked the country's defense ministry in Moscow were not immediately disclosed, but the Russian defense minister Anatoly Serdyukov said Moscow was studying seriously and attentively the experiences and practices of Israel's military as it modernizes its army. Russia has sought to build, continuing on down in the yellow here, a fleet of Israeli-made spy drones since Georgia used such Israeli aircraft against Russia in their brief 2008 war. Russian officials said Israel had already sold Moscow 12 pilotless aircraft and would supply 36 more worth of around $100 million. Now, what brought all this up? You might wonder, right? All right, let me show you what brought this situation up for me and why we got into this issue about that, right? Dirty bomb. Suitcase Russia. Now, this may not even be known anywhere. Russian dirty bomb robo-sub is grotesque, but Moscow's building. I don't know if this is the case that I'm looking for, but what I wanted to tell you is that the Russians have developed a suitcase that makes it virtually impossible for us to detect a dirty bomb. And we've already diffused, I say we, I mean the United States has diffused 2 dirty bombs out of New York here just in the last couple of years. Both of those were using that type technology that made it virtually impossible for us to find. Now, if you remember the last time I brought this up in the news, and let me just see if I can pull this back up for you on my channel here. So I'll go back to my channel here. Let's go to manage videos. Please don't forget to subscribe too on this. Let's see. We're going to have Russia's case for preemptive strike, Ukraine's dirty bomb, Russia's case for... I don't know if this is the case where I did this or not. Let me see. No, okay. New York. I don't remember where I did this at. I actually did a video, though, about, and it wasn't the Ukraine. This is one, though, I do bring this up, though, in this video here, that they would use that as a, they would use a dirty bomb in New York and blame it on Russia. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, even though Russia's the one that developed the technology for being able to smuggle this to this briefcase where nobody could detect it, I was told unequivocally that Israel has that technology as well. And if you remember, there was a article, and maybe it was Hal Turner that brought this out. Let me just see if we can pull that up as well. That brought out the, what was it, the kids, let's see, Jews go early to, let's just put New York. That's when they went to that, they went to the Jewish youth. They went early to what was it, the Catskills or something like the history of the, I'm not going to pull it up that way there. I can't remember now how that's out there, but I actually did an article or did a broadcast on that where they had went early, and maybe that's the, let me just try to search it one other way here. Let me just see what I have for New York. New York's kin beneath easy to dirty device has been, okay, that was one of the, I think that was the one right there. New Yorkers can breathe easy, the dirty device has been defused. All right, that was where I actually reported where we had gotten rid of that one. All right, so let's go back to New York again. And let's see, New York preparing nuclear evacuation plans. New York City in danger. That's when I first reported on that. Orthodox Community Prayers. Oh, here we go. That's it. That's the one right there. And I think that was Hal Turner that actually put that out, right? Let's just see.
Good morning, friends. Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live.
My big concern.
Hasidim have left New York City and are heading to the Catskill Mountains because they
the
think
Catskill
New York
Mountains
will be nuked. Is the one that posted this here.
Right, here we go.
Radio program, and I got the message.
Oh.
Radio program, and I got the message.
Oh, come on. That was okay. So it's over on iConnect is where that's at. And it says, what makes the okay, this so the point was, it kind of reminded me of what happened back in September of, well, we won't go into all the details on that. But remember when the towers came tumbling down, there was a text or tweet or something that went out, a text that went out to so many of the Jewish community. And thank God it did, all right? I'm not against the fact that they got the text. It spared their lives. But the fact is they had that advanced knowledge. How did they have the advanced knowledge? And then they also send these young Jewish youth to the Catskill Mountains early, showing that they were preparing for something coming. All right? So These things are happening all over again. And if there ends up being an attack, that's going to be the main way that it'll take place. So we were talking about also the fact that the ETs had been saying to all the governments that had these nuclear devices, if they use the nuclear devices, they're going to shut their systems down. That's what the ETs were threatening all these global leaders with if they use any type of nuclear device. I said, well, they have the ability to track these ones that Russia can do in these suitcases, or in this case, Israelis could do as well. And the answer was they did not know whether or not the ETs could track that or not. So, guys, listen. Things are heating up as it is. I mean, majorly heating up over there. And so, we got to keep that in mind. And speaking of heating up, let's just see here. I had gotten a text in from Sister Brenda. God bless you, Sister Brenda. I haven't had a chance to text you back, but let me just tell her thank you right now. So, and I'll just tell her I'm talking about you now. And, but anyway, she had sent me a YouTube video, Jesse Waltman on BP Earthwatch. Jesse, wonderful brother there. He does awesome stuff there. The Bear Strikes Hard, World Report 1023. And Jesse was really going into some very serious things that are about to happen in Ukraine. And I've already been told from people there at the Pentagon there that we can expect the next 3 months to be major world event changers. So it's getting serious. Listen, I'm Steve Ben-Nun. I've been a little bit long-winded tonight here on Patreon. Normally not this long-winded, but pray for us. Be prepared. Keep at least, like a 30-day of food and water supplies on hand. Listen, we're going into the winter months. If you don't have a fireplace, if you don't have something like that, think about a generator fuel, things like that. EMP shield, all right? And I don't normally talk about EMP shield a lot, but listen, I've been told already there's been warnings that they're anticipating an EMP strike on this nation either by the end of the year or going into the first of next year. That's serious. So don't forget, if you're looking to do an EMP shield, the EMPshield.com. And I'll just as a reminder so you know what you're doing there, when you go to their website, INL50, I would at least advise 2 devices, the one for your home and the one for your vehicle. And I have the one on the vehicle, but I desperately need to get the one, I got it already, for the house. But when you add it to your cart, and if you did both of them, and you put INL50 as a code in there, okay, and you apply that coupon, it's going to knock $50 off. All right? That's important. INL50. Don't forget to do that. Proceed to check out. I think I got the other one in there from the other day. Let's just see if it's still there. It'll all still be there no matter what you do. Anyway. No, the other ones didn't stay on there when I did that. So just as a reminder, I want you to think everything you can to be safe. Let's hope none of this happens. Let's hope these things settle down. Let's hope they come up with some kind of peace agreement. But you just never know. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live here on our Patreon channel. Thank you for being a part of this. And thank you for subscribing. God bless you.